Man, listen, when I tell you something's going to happen, at this point, it probably is going to happen. I don't know if you remember, probably like a week ago, I had brought up that Dominique Alexander, because we can't even call him minister anymore, X that shit completely out. Dominique Alexander was doing a George Floyd rally. And first and foremost, I just want to say one thing. Dominique Alexander could give a rat's ass about the George Floyd situation. He wanted this for attention, okay? It's been about 5 years now, and he's still protesting for George Floyd. That's how you know that this man is a fraud, because it's not a remembrance ceremony. It's not an honor to anything. It's a protest. What is that for? It's to rile people up, okay? It's to rile up both sides, to be honest. So anyway, he comes out here to this George Floyd protest that he organized by himself, only to then go and talk about Karmelo Anthony. And this is exactly what I said he was going to do. He uses tragedies, he uses real life events to try to push his narrative. So now it's the big George Floyd collection and nobody shows up. Spoiler alert. But now it's the whole George Floyd protest, and then he goes over to Karmelo Anthony because he wants as many eyes on him as possible, okay? And you know, there's always people on the case. Sarah Fields was on the case, and I think somebody went out there and recorded this get-together. And it is the saddest get-together I've ever seen because, again, remember, normal folk aren't morons. It's only the trolls and the morons online and on Reddit that run this rhetoric. If you go and see this gathering, nobody showed up. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and check this thing out. It's real interesting, man. It keeps getting weirder out here. And there's a few clips of the whole event that I want to show you. Let's go ahead and check this out. Also, before we begin, I saw a few comments saying like, sad face, the resolution is bad. The resolution 720. The resolution actually was incorrect. So if anybody was like weirded out as to why the channel text looked really bad, I fixed the problem. So shout out to people who commented because that was kind of bothering me as well. I wasn't sure what the issue was, but I looked into it. But anyway, we have Sarah Fields on the case, and she posted on the 25th, the day before my birthday, so I didn't even know this was happening, and she reported on what was happening. So she says, Dominique Alexander's quote-unquote biggest civil rights organization in North Texas had nearly zero attendance at the quote-unquote Remember George Floyd protest in Dallas. Because remember, nobody's setting this shit up. You know, the Chauvin guy, he's in jail. George Floyd is dead. The case is closed. The only person who wants to bring this up is someone like Dominique Alexander because he knows the name alone will hopefully, please bring some eyes to him. I'm talking the mental framework of this man shows deep psychological issues. This guy needs attention. It's the only thing he craves is attention. But anyways, let's continue. However, he took the time to mention my reporting on him and refer to me as a racist, bigoted white supremacist to all 10 attendants. And she's not exaggerating. I didn't even count 10. I think she's being nice. Apparently, he, quote unquote, doesn't give a damn about being exposed as a criminal, a woman, and a child abuser, or that his organization is fraudulent and breaking multiple federal laws. He has also been parading around a fake security team, which in Texas is a serious offense. And now, this is my only problem about this, is that she's hurling these allegations his direction and he refuses to answer. It kind of reminds you of other cases we've covered of guilty people, like Andrew Holmes, you know, allegedly, right? Refuses to say anything. He won't just look at the allegation and respond to it appropriately. Like, okay, this is false. These are the credentials. That's all you got to do. Shut Sarah Fields right the fuck up. You know how crazy it would look for Dominique Alexander to post on Twitter with two of the security guards' credentials right here? Tag Sarah Fields. He can't do that. He cannot do that. And we're going to see his response eventually, but let's go ahead and watch this sad video. All red shirts are his staff. So count those people out. Those don't count as attendees.
Dear brother by the name of Karmelo, all right? And y'all give a hand for him this street. You know, we had all of the racist, white supremacist bigots who had a newfound interest.
We've had a bunch of white racist supremacist bigots who had, the man's not even a good public speaker, bro. You're not even publicly speaking. You're speaking to nobody, and you're still fumbling the speech. This guy is a grade 1 clown that is supporting the Anthony family that supposedly has all these hundreds of thousands of dollars. Holy shit. Use that money wisely, boys and girls. How you have that much money and you don't hire somebody with some fucking sense in their brain? Shit, I'd hire Al Sharpton over this. The fuck is going on?
In the next generation, actually, right? And inevitably, somebody must have told them something wrong about Dominique Alexander, right? Because somebody didn't tell them before they found this newfound interest in me that I don't give a damn. In their narrative. And I told somebody, I said, stop asking me, am I okay? Because the day that I start giving a damn about what a racist, bigot, and a white supremacist care about me in this organization is the day I must resign, right? And
now remember, this is the George Floyd protest, y'all. I ain't heard nothing about no George Floyd or no protest about that because there's nothing to protest. The man came out here with a title. It's like clickbait. You know how YouTubers clickbait you into shit? And it's like, oh, he got me. Oh, darn it. AG got me with the clickbait. Yeah, he's doing that in real life. He said George Floyd, and then he flipped it over to Karmelo Anthony. And then he flipped it over to the racist bigots, bro. You know this is affecting him. It's irritating him. And I know he's seen my videos. Dominique, you're a fucking clown, bro. You know, saying you're making us look bad, bro. You're a fucking clown. Get the fuck out of here. No, like, come on, bro. That shit's crazy, dog. Ain't nobody out here. You wasted your time.
The history and the legacy of my ancestors, I'm going to continue to tell them go to hell, okay? So, I don't really care. What I really care about is when
and that's pretty much it. I do want to show you a few more clips of it because, you know, judging by the flyer, you would think this is some big shit. You know what I mean? Like, look at the flyer. It's insane. It's like, whoa, this is going to be a revolution. And, you know, I hate when people use the dead for their own agenda. It's disgusting. No matter what you think about the George Floyd situation, at this point, it's, you know, he's dead. Rest in peace at this point. He's using the name to push an agenda. What the fuck? Like, it's disgusting. I'm not going to read this entire statement, but he said, we're just 3 days away now. He was hyping it up. 5 years after the murder of George Floyd, we are still demanding what we never received, real justice. So his whole thing is that the officers got arrested, but they still need real justice because there needs to be some citywide or like countrywide reform. And like, I mean, okay, sure, but like, how are you still protesting with the man's name instead of just trying to change laws? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're just going for sensational, what's the word? You're trying to sensationalize the situation. You could tackle those laws by your fucking self. You don't need to have George Floyd's face all over everything. This isn't just about police brutality. This is about every level of injustice, suffocating black and oppressed people across the country. Voting rights, civil rights, education, DEI, healthcare, truth, history, all under attack. White supremacy is now hiding. What? White supremacy is not hiding anymore. It's legislating, organizing, and dismantling everything our ancestors died for. We must be louder. We must be bolder. Okay, so you get it. He's pumping them up, pumping up the crowd, all that shit, right? So let's just check out the turnout, because there's a few more videos of people kind of just snooping the scenery out. Let me show you something else. So if we were to look at that, I'm not sure if everybody's in attendance, but if they are, it's pretty. If they are, then it's about 30, 40 people. This is just another picture. I think people were going around taking pictures, kind of like they're like, "Ooh, that's the Carmelo Anthony guy." So people were going around taking pictures and shit. This is another one. And they're playing copyright music, so we're not going to stay on that. But that was pretty much the turnout. Depressing. Depressing. That was the turnout. Hold on. But anyway, so after all the reports, I think his pussy got a little bit bruised. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes the pussy gets smacked too hard, it starts hurting a little bit. And I think that's what happened to Dominique Alexander, because on the 26th, my birthday, see, all this time I wasn't paying attention because, you know, I was trying to have a good time. Dominique was over here having a good time, clearly, also. But anyways, he strikes back a little bit because now he feels like he's under attack because they exposed his little bullshit gathering. He says on his main account, on his Next Generation Action account, he says, official statement from the Next Generation Action Network. Over the past several weeks, our organization has endured a series of calculated attacks built on falsehoods, misinformation, and falsified investigations. These lies are being spread by individuals and platforms with deep ties to white supremacy, masquerading as journalists while intentionally distorting the truth. Now listen. At this fucking point, bro, YouTube is my fucking job. I'm looking at another camera. YouTube is my job. Sarah Fields, I'm pretty sure Twitter and all the other shit she got going on is her fucking job. People who cover media shit, it's not a organized, calculated attack, my boy. It's called fucking social media. People cover the latest bullshit that happens. And listen, you stink of it. That's why everybody's flying around. You smell like shit, and we're the flies. What happens? You smell like it, we arrive. He's like, oh, these are calculated attacks against... No, you're just a dumbass. And that's why everybody's pointing it out. People, like, why would anybody risk their platform by just reporting false news? Why would people do that? I mean, I know some people do. But at the end of the day, it's too much. Like, you would have to risk your reputation on something bigger than the Next Generation Action Network. Please. You gotta be fucking kidding me. This is another, what is it? This is another Thursday, bro. What is it, Friday? It might be. This is another Friday. Bitch, calculated attack. You're not that special for it to be a calculated attack. The fuck? Anyways, let's continue. Let us be clear. This is definitely the let us be clear guy. Let us be clear. These attacks are not just about Nagin. They're about trying to silence a movement. They're about discrediting real work, real wins, real people who have committed their lives to pursue justice. They have targeted our staff. They have weaponized misinformation. They have fabricated claims with no basis in fact. But we are not new to this. We are trained for this moment. We are built for this battle. We will not waver. For over a decade, the Next Generation Action has stood up on the front lines, fighting for the voiceless, standing in the gap for families in crisis and challenging systems that never were designed to protect us. Our track record speaks louder than any lie ever could. From legislative victories to direct advocacy, our impact is undeniable. That's exactly why we are being targeted because we are effective, because we represent power, progress, and peace. You notice he always like honestly I think he is writing this. I don't know if this is AI anymore because he always has to have the powerful, prosperous, and peaceful, the big, bad, and the beautiful, the majestic, mighty, and maniacal. I don't know. He always spaces his sentence out with a whole bunch of adjectives like it's gonna do something. Bro, your sentence holds no sustenance, bro. You could add all the descriptive terminologies you want. The man said, because we represent power, progress, and people. Like, I mean, and people, you're just saying shit at this point. Power, progress, and people. The fuck? The alliterations it's cool. You don't have to, you're not saying shit anyway. But to our supporters, we want you to know that Nagana operates with transparency and integrity. If you have a question, ask. If you have concern, bring it forward. But what we won't do is be bullied. See, there it is again. But what we won't do is be bullied, intimidated, or silenced by those trying to protect the status quo. You see that, right? It's just like you use that type of writing because everybody uses that, I feel like, when you have nothing to say. You use that type of shit when you're writing a report and you just like mind numbing and it's just like, fuck it, let me just fill out a word count. The man is saying nothing. We don't just fight injustice, we confront it head on. We don't just talk about change, we live it. And we will never stop until justice belongs to all of us, blah, 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 blah. That was Dominique Alexander's response. And he's really, I think he's kind of irritated that on the fact that a lot of people are just starting to agree that he's a fucking parasite. If there's one thing everybody could agree on is that Dominique Alexander should not be here. He needs to go back into that fucking troglodyte cave that he crawled out of and stay there. You know what I mean? Go find the baby to shake. Never mind. Never mind. I'm playing. I was being facetious. Anyways, people, I love you guys. I'm gonna see you real soon. Stay inside, stay safe, man. Keep your kids away from fucking vultures like Dominique Alexander, and life should be pretty good. I love y'all. Peace.